Yeah.
Hello and welcome to this Warno 1v1 game between Funny Transport Enjoyer playing the extremely overpowered 9th East German Division, and he's up against 500 playing 6YA, which is not as good as 9th Panzer Division. Today we're on Vertigo Duel. Funny Transport Enjoyer does have the bad side. It's the bad side because if you're on red side, you can put stuff here on Boris. You can put a guy in this house and you can shoot the reinforcement road. If you get to here, you can shoot the reinforcement road. If the enemy gets to here, he can't really shoot the reinforcement road. Over on this side, you can put a guy in this house, you can shoot the reinforcement road, etc, etc, etc. It's just a better map for red. And yeah, looking at sorry, for blue. No, wait, yeah, for red. And looking at the deployments, we've got motorized Aufklärer going to there. And presumably he's going to move it up there or something. I mean, this is a great building to put a recon unit in, or a Conkers, and a BRDM2 coming around the back here. Behind that, we've got a Conkers going to the wrong building. Needs to be in this building, needs to be in this building, so we can shoot the guys coming down the road. Two Motorstrokey BMP1s in overpriced BMP1s. I believe 6YA doesn't actually get access to the Maryutka one. From what I remember, I'm pretty sure they don't, so they're forced to spend 40 points on a not amazing BMP1. Basically, it's got 17 pen, which can one-shot a 3-armor vehicle. But, I mean, basically these days it's all about the suppression, and this has more suppression and more range, and near misses deal suppression anyway, so you just get way more suppression out of the Maryuk because it makes them better. But these guys don't have the Maryuk option. A book, and no supply for the book, and the second book, and no supply for the second book. Two urns to try and cap mid. Two Spetsgrupper A. These guys are pretty good. Spetsgrupper A, 10 men. They've got an AT now. For some reason, it's an American one. They must have stolen it. They are a false flag unit. So yeah, they're going up here. And a Conkers behind them. You get a Conkers to here, it's pretty cool because you can shoot across here. One advantage blue does have is that if you get a Conkers to here, you can shoot the red reinforcement road. So it's imperative that red tries to hold this. And on the right, we've got a Spetsgrupper A, BRDM2. These only have recon deployment, not airborne deployment. And then another Conquer is going to this building, as we spoke about. Two Saperi RPO and BTR-60s, and a book. I'd prefer to have the book here, because then it can cover the stuff that's happening over here a bit better. But whatever, it's not the end of the world. And not opening with supply is very odd, but he has opened with one CV. Switching to his opponent's deployment. We've got not much happening on the left, so motorized Aufklärer for here, motorized Aufklärer for here, and a Maryutka P behind that. The Maryutka P has one more AP than the Maryutka regular, because it's an upgrade, which means that it is just way, way better than the bundle of sticks, because now it has the range advantage and the same pen and more suppression. The accuracy is higher, but because it's got more range... sorry, the accuracy is lower, but because it's got more range. At the same range, they'll have pretty similar accuracies. There might only be like 3% difference or something. So it looks like blue wants to attack on the right. If you're playing an armored div on this map, you don't really want to be attacking Boris at the start at all. You want to be trying to take center, in my opinion. Because if you're on this side, attacking Boris is an absolute nightmare. It's just very easy to stack. Look, you can just put a Conkers there, and if they shoot you, you just go back over the hill. It's very odd. It's not very fair. So anyway, his div's cracked though, so he should win. So we got a Ural, 4 motorized Aufklärer, 2 for the town and 2 for the open, I guess. It's kind of hard to tell. Maryutka P. Going where exactly? Oh, for some reason I have all that selected. Okay, so supply 2 motorized Aufklärer, 1 for the town, 1 for here. 2 Motschuts and SPD. So this is just a much more cost-effective unit. It's literally 10 points less for a thing that goes further, and it's got Resolute, which makes it better. So yeah, East Germany is very powerful at the moment. I say at the moment, they've always been quite strong. And then 3 T-72M1s, the most cost-efficient tank in the game. It's even got, on top of everything else, 3 top armor and 17 front armor, so it'll survive one shot from any anti-tank plane missile in the game, unlike something like a Leopard 2, which will die in that one hit. A Cub, which is going in the open for some reason. Motorized Aufklärer in a BMP-1 recon, and then 2 BRM-1s for their exceptional optics. So let's cast the game, and we shall do so from this perspective. Right, so they're off, and I'd like to take the time to complain more about how absolutely cracked 9th East German is. They get the names on the screen, they get the videos a week early, they get members exclusive videos. Best way to support the channel. If you don't want to spend money, I understand. Please just like the videos. Please just comment on the videos. It takes you 10 seconds to like it, open the comment box, write GG and hit enter. You could have done it in the time it took me to say this, and it makes YouTube recommend the videos to more people, so it really does help me out. I do appreciate the 5% of you that do that. So I get about 100 likes on a video, and I get about 1,500 views, or 2,000 views, let's say. So it's about 5%. So thank you to the 5%. Honestly, thank you to everybody who watches. I do appreciate you watching the videos. It's just I'm getting more and more desperate because I'm about to become unemployed, so my shilling is increasing in quantity. Motorized Aufklärer run into the urns. Shouldn't have unloaded there, should have just reversed. And you see that they use all their rockets and they didn't actually kill him, do any damage at all. The Motorized Aufklärer here made it. Oh, they didn't use all their rockets. So they should be in auto cannon range this time, which is much more effective than the rockets. And he's just put an attack move order, attack position order on that. I think, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's because look, it's not aimed at the right place. Anyway, it's still working. Although, well, no, it's doing a lot of missing, to tell you the truth. Whereas if they had been on the right building, they would have done more damage. Here we go. So the Conkers can shoot these, but it's not in the... Because if it was in here, it'd be slinging at these guys, and that is really annoying if you're on this side of the map. It is very, very annoying. So yeah, MI-24D coming in here. There's just not a lot here for Red. His units are a lot more... Oh, they're a bit more spread out now, but if these get some... Oh, the Cub doesn't kill it. It misses. Probably die on its way out to the Mega MiG or whatever. Okay. Wow, 500 is just a really good player, I guess. But that MiG-21 did go down. 500 Mega Gaming there gets the cluster plane out. Typically, you want the fighters in front of the cluster plane, so the Cub shoots the fighters before the cluster plane. But he still got out, so I guess it's fine. And now there's only 3 T-72s purchased at the start of the game without really losing much presence on the rest of the map. So yeah, very, very OP. But, as we spoke about... What's going on with my headset? As we spoke about, there's, you know, it's kind of hard to attack this, especially if you lose mid like this. It's very, very difficult. So I think the, you know, now there's only 2 of these left. The problem with 6YA is that all their stuff dies in one hit to a Cub, which is total pain in the neck. But yeah, the infantry's made it in, but as you can see, the BMP-1s are up here, and there you go, the fighter dies in one hit to the Cub, as we spoke about. But yeah, this doesn't, I mean, suppress on missed there, but was already there. I mean, if this was over here, because have you noticed this hasn't fired once? That has a lot to do with the fact that it's in the wrong place. If it was even move it up to here, but here would be good, because this is where things are happening. Or even here, just anywhere other than where it is. Have you noticed he's also put it behind the building so it can't even see? Because the building's in the way, so that is a problem. But yeah, it's very difficult to push across this. But it looks like Funny Transport and Joy is going to make it here. Trying to get the urns up to stop it. These urns still have auto cannon rounds, so I'm surprised they weren't sent here actually, because they could have killed those motorized Aufklärer. And once they go down, it's kind of hard to keep the tanks here. There is recon though, and yeah, just not buying a It's weird, my headset is shaking when the base hits, which is not ideal. Here we go, second MiG-21 cluster purchase, evac the right way, so that the Cub... Well, the Cub should have still shot there, but it was on a move order instead of a tap move, so it didn't actually shoot. And there that goes, but that should now put... No, never mind. I was going to say it should put blue on a +1, but something's going on in centre here. Needs to be a bit of an attempt here to sort that out, and there is from red. The urns are going down. I believe they both died to one Cub missile there, because they were too close to each other, so don't put your things too close. Not only with the suppress on miss, but also the death on miss. And one wonders what red could do about this, because he's out of... I don't know, he could buy another MiG-21 cluster. He might have 4 instead of 2. It's a Grom moment there. At least it hit. It's like a 35% accuracy, so... Yeah, second Conquer's put... Oh, okay. That's like the worst place to put it, sure. I mean, you could getting it here would be good, but it's not there. It's in the field, and the transport's now leaving, so a bit of an overreaction there. So over here, lots of things dying to one motorized Aufklärer, and if he fast paths this in there, it's just going to explode. So he should really not be doing that. He's dead. This is just going to go in this building and kill him. So, big oof though. Yeah? Oh, okay, it missed. I mean, 45% accuracy and mediocre cohesion makes the accuracy go down by 45% of 45%, which is very low, actually. But yeah, red could have done with... Well, I don't know, I mean, he's won that fight now, but now he's got to watch out for this bundle of sticks here. No smoke on this bad boy, I think it's just dead. Best bet would have been to try and hide behind this, I think, but I don't think you would have made it in time. Anyway, so that Cub... Basically, you just always need to send a fighter out in front of these, because the Cub, if it hits you, will kill you. And these are like 210 points for some obscene reason. We are still feeling the effects of the Balance Man, despite his death. You know, it's like, well, so what happened in Harry Potter after Voldemort went? You know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. So T-80B's being purchased, which are slightly better, but cost 90 points more. And this tank needs to go up in price. It's just way too strong. So yeah, slightly better tank, 90 points more. I also do think that heavy tanks are a bit too expensive at the moment, because planes kill them so easily, and ATGMs suppress them so easily, that generally they need to get a bit cheaper. Having said that, divs like 3rd US Armoured still do really well, but it's mainly because of the Bradleys instead of the HAs. This gets smoke, but it's dead because it's been stunned, and there wasn't using the smoke, so down it goes. Now it's going to be a +1 for the 9th. Just a much better version of 6YA, really, is probably a good way of thinking about it. Yeah, just a really cracked div, so if you excuse me, I'm going to spend more time complaining about. Like, look, this is 240. What the hell? It went up again. Oh my gosh, and it just dies there. 240 points for a plane that can die in one hit to a Cub. Thanks, Darix. Yeah, what can I say? He's gone now, so we can focus on trying to fix these things. So, yeah, it is even Stevens. I think red does need to reinforce this a little bit. Because blue, once he's reinforced this, he can just YOLO into center quite easily with some BMP2s and stuff. But I guess the onus right now is on taking mid and using the air to sort that out. The book's out of ammo. This one has just not been useful at all the whole game. It's just been in the wrong place. So that is very sad. Can't even see him. Even though he fired. There you go, now they can see. They do outrange the tank. They do outrange the T-72. That is why they're so much more expensive. But yeah, the T-72 bit too cheap. I mean, basically, it was only on 7th Panzer. I can't remember if this specific one was on 7th Panzer. I think it was. And 7th Panzer had a lot of other problems, so it was all very sensible. But now, now it's on 9th, which is just crazy to begin with. And yeah, it's not fantastic. So over here, the Spetsgrupper, you know, they're trying to cling on, but there's no AA here. The book has got its mojo back, but it's sat behind a hill, and this one's in the wrong place. It's pretty crazy. Like, that SU bomber that came in here, both times, should have died. But it's just this book was sat behind a house, and the second time, this book was out of ammo and behind a hill. And, you know, it's just poor positioning, basically. As you can see, they've got a pretty forgiving range. But if you put it behind a house, it can't aim because of the houses in the way. So just something to keep in mind. I do apologise, I'm still a little bit ill. These next 3 months are just going to be me cycling into more and more sadness as the PhD continues to beat me up. Yeah, that sounds about right. He's not sending the fighters first, and now the Cub is max vet. So it's got 60% accuracy, and if you move it up, it does much better for itself. So, the Pullman, I mean, you don't need 3 units here, you need an extra unit here, really. Obviously the urns do nothing. Literally nothing. I think that was an attack position order. I did not see what killed the T-72S. I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume it was this Conkers. And then it got resupplied, so I don't see what else it could have been. You saw that, right? It missed and it suppressed this. At least it didn't kill it. If it killed it, that would have made a YouTube video, I think. I mean, obviously this is a YouTube video. So yeah, the SPWs could mess up the Saperis, but then you just right-click it with this. But you see, it does do quite a bit of damage in the time it's got. And you see they're on low cohesion now. This is on low cohesion as well, because it's no vet. It takes like 6 minutes to get its cohesion back. You see he's just missing everything. It's pretty funny. Is he going to hit a single one there? Okay, there we go. But yeah, you see how difficult it is for blue? Like, the sides really... The divisional matchup clearly favours blue, but the sides favour red, and you can see that here. So if blue had been on the other side and he'd got to here, the game would already be over, because there's no way red could just, like, get back in, basically. Apart from trying to come down here while you're being shot at. It doesn't really work. Whereas here, if red loses this zone, he could just fall back into the forest, so just resupply his guys through the forest. It's very... And he's got, like, these buildings here to side shot things if they come in. Especially if, like, this house gets destroyed here, this becomes a very, very useful thing. Right, so we switch to the MiG-21 Bison rockets now. And they don't work properly. Although, well, I fired 3 of the rockets. But yeah, just the plane purchases need to stop. And you see how this one didn't shoot properly because there's a hill in the way. So yeah, just weak micro there. That one didn't even shoot because he put the attack position behind the house, so it got freaked out. You need to put it in front of the house or on the house, because otherwise it's like, I don't have LOS. It's like a separate thought process to the actual like bombers, iron bombs or whatever you want to call them. So yeah, 26 minutes in. Looks like blue's winning. I think he needs to stop trying to push this forest and come over here and try something over here. He's secured his ingress, right? You can send this up to there if you want. There's literally nothing here. But instead he's trying to push through the forest, which is basically impossible. It's very, very, very difficult to get to Paul. Paul is very much inaccessible. Having said that, it's kind of hard for to push out of this into here if all these things are here. Like, you need to bring a recon here, and as soon as you do, it starts getting shot, and so it dies really fast. The Jiatsin is pretty good. One thing that would be really, really useful here for the 9th player is his best tool, which is the Napalm Grad, which we haven't seen yet. Especially in the forest. It does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Could have used it against these bucks and stuff. Could have killed the bucks. It's kind of strange to not see that, given that, as well as having a really good rest of the div, 9th East German also gets one of the best MLRS in the game. So there goes that mortar. And that's why you need to keep them moving. But I guess the artillery has only just fired. So now that the arty's been revealed, now you can start moving things. Here we go. So as well as everything else, this absolutely busted division gets the napalm launcher, which can basically one-shot heavy tanks and stuff like that, or one-salvo heavy tanks. Depends how good the operator is. I had an operator complain to me that he thought this was bad, but that's actually just because he's trash at the game. This thing's amazing. I've routinely seen it get like 35 kills in a game and stuff like that. It's just a problem with this sort of unit that you can't just make it 600 points, do you know what I mean? But honestly, maybe you can. Maybe you can just make it 500 points. And then they've got to spend 2 minutes income if they want to buy this. And it will still pay for itself. I'll show you the kill list at the end if I remember. And you see that basically it's very, very, very effective against vehicles. It is useless against people in buildings. That's how the operator I spoke to, he was like, I'm using it against buildings. And then he called it the mostly fires, rarely works. And it's like, oh my god, these people get to vote? Man, I get the same number of votes as this guy? You don't use it against infantry and buildings, man. You use it against forests and you use it against hard targets. Like this. If you just dropped it on that, which you should be able to see, if you had this up to here, you'd see it. Then it would just die. It depends a bit on the RNG and how fast your enemy reacts. But generally, that's why it's so effective in the forests. Because in the forest, the vehicle can't get out of the way that fast. So you could get a lot of kills there. It's got a long reload, but you just split the volleys. So you only put like 20 things on a target. And you should always buy a CV for it and put a CV next to it, because it'll cut that reload down. And for some reason, it comes at 1 vet by default. Which should actually... Oh, I need to write that down. That would actually be a really easy way to nerf the nerf the unit. Just make it come at 0 vet, so it doesn't get 60 seconds. Like, it should have a 300-second reload time, I believe. So aim time minus 15%. So what's... So 264 divided by 80, 0.85... No, hang on. 264 divided by 85 times by 100 is 310 seconds. Yes, I was right. I'm always right, bro. I wonder if it was 263, what would happen? Oh, did I do 84 instead of 85? No, I did 85. 260, because basically this doesn't show decimals. So you get instances where you upvet a tank and it still says it's got 10 ROF or something, and it's because it's actually 10 point something. It's a real shame, actually. This should definitely display to at least 1 decimal place. The seconds one probably doesn't have to, but the rate of fire should definitely be displayed to 1 decimal place. I guess I'll write that one down as well. I make a lot of suggestions to them. They don't take them all. I mean, how could they? There's like 50 other people doing the same thing. Because yeah, there's basically for people who know it doesn't matter, but for the newer players it matters a lot. Like the game is just giving them the wrong information. It's kind of annoying. So he's going for the cub now. Might get it. All comes down to the RNG on these rounds, because you land right next to it, you do nothing. You headshot it, you kill it. So, oh, it was just bad luck there for 500s. Also, you know, a way you can stop your things from dying is you figure out which direction they're going in as quickly as possible, and then you send it forwards or G reverse, so then it doesn't have to turn on the spot while the artillery is trying to shoot it. I should probably do a guide on that. Oh wow, 4 Giatsins. Okay, but okay, so yeah, the funny transport enjoyer here is doing the smart thing, which is I should just attack center. 500 is doing the dumb thing, which is I'm just going to buy artillery for 4 minutes. So this is like 2 minutes income here. Maybe 3. Let's call this 4 minutes income. Right, let's see who wins. 4 Jiatsins or 4 minutes of actual units. It might even be less than 4 minutes. Everything's so cheap. Oh, these are the Conkers ones? That is not worth it at all. You're paying 20 points for a Conkers, 20 extra points for a Conkers, when the Malyuka... Like, to swap out your Malyuka for a Conkers, nah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. So, yeah, that's like 100, 200, 60... So that's like 2 minutes income, 3 minutes. So this is only 3 minutes income. So 3 of those arty pieces. Let's see who wins. 4 arty pieces. Or 3 minutes of ground units. Usually it's the 3 minutes of ground units. If you played a 10v10, it still is. It's just you don't appreciate that 10 enemy opponents have all bought artillery, and so the value of your ground units is sort of swamped out. So 2 cubs here. You get 4 in a card, which I completely disagree with. I think it should be 3, which it used to be. Especially now with the suppress on miss mechanics. And yeah, these rocket planes are pretty funny because they reload very quickly if they don't get damaged, like that. Now it's not going to reload very quickly. But you see this guy Robert here. Well, hopefully he doesn't get hit. But yeah, they don't fire their rockets properly. Hopefully he doesn't get hit. There we go. So hopefully he evacs now. And then we can count how long he takes to come back in. It's not going to be 16 seconds because you've also got to consider the fuel and the other weapon. Wow. Okay, so he's going out the map at 18:30, let's say, because obviously he's got to get out there. I can't remember how long the evac time is. I should probably know that. I like to use these slower paced games to learn things, like how long the evac time is, so I probably should have counted that. I suppose you could go back and count it. Next time we see a plane evac, we're going to count. But that was Robert going out at like 18:25 or something. Which means it was about a 12-second evac, something like that. That's my guess. So, yeah, this ain't looking great for Red now. His chances of getting back in here are basically nil against East German infantry. This div also gets really, really good infantry, because for some reason East Germans were apparently like the most motivated soldiers in the game. You know, that's why when the wall fell, they fought for East Germany. You know, they didn't all just say, oh, okay, and then quit, right? That's why they fought an epic battle to keep East Germany going for years and years and years, because they're all resolute soldiers. So they were very they were just so motivated that they didn't just collapse like a stack of cards as soon as some civilians started pulling down bits of wall. Anyway, T-72M1's probably going to go down here. No cub here. So this is what I was talking about, where you sort of need a cub. Don't understand why it's all Strelas, really. Like 1 cub for because they're all MiGs. They're all MiGs. They all die in 1 hit to a cub. Why not have a cub back here? You get 4 of them. 1 died, I think. And so yeah, there should be 1 left in the count, unless 1 died when I wasn't looking. Anyway, so you see this has been put on return fire, so if the enemy does attack here, they can be set on fire. But yeah, this thing's also really, really good at counter battery, so if these don't move... Oh, they aren't moving. So that's it's a pretty cool arty, but it's not actually doing anything. Tube arty is basically terrible at suppressing because you need to point blank people to hit them. It's a big problem. It makes Pact very, very strong in team games because NATO's mainly tube arty, and tube arty only suppresses if it direct impacts people, so you can't do the same kind of thing that you could do with tube arty, with MLRS, where you just hit a point and hit a circle and suppress everything in that circle. You can't really do that with tube at all, because either it headshots you or it does nothing. It's very sad. So, Conker's out there on the Malyutka P. He got him, and now he needs to move it. This doesn't even have any rounds. It's very sad. I think we already used the very sad phrase. We need new phrases. So, has had some time to reinforce this. Blue was a bit lethargic in his attack. Also, like, he set up here, which gave the enemy time to react. He shouldn't have done that. You should have staged like here. Obviously, the problem is if the enemy's here, he'll know about it anyway. But you stage back here. If you stage up here, your enemy's going to know, and he's going to be like, "Oh, I should probably buy some units." But as you can see, 4 minutes income is beating 4 minutes income. These aren't even like they're just not doing anything because this is moving, so you can't do anything. And there you go, it misses again. So, I guess this is why Strella's, right? But instead he's sacrificing planes, which really should be getting hit by a book, but there's no ammo in this book. Yeah, so blue doing a big win here. Big winning. Book just not doing anything. That book, I think, is what fired there. So really, you know, if the enemy pushes you back here, this book should be brought around to here, really. It's not looking great for red, just getting outnumbered. Can't really fend for himself, really. So there you go, one Strela killed. You don't want to be going for the units in the forest because it never really fires all its rockets properly. But yeah, coming in near this hill is interesting because it means that these things can't really shoot it once it gets to here, or not effectively. So there you go, the T-72s are getting in, and all those cluster planes were wasted over here, if you recall. So there's not really much Red can do about this. I do wonder what the answer is going to be. I mean, he's got loads of units over here, but yeah, it's kind of easy to hold this. You don't need all those units there, and then there should have really been more here because he was winning. He just had to hold these two. Because yeah, it's basically impossible to push back. Once you get pushed out of here, it's very difficult to lose this. But once you do, you're never getting back in because there's a nice open field here for you to get shot on. And the enemy gets guys up to here and here and here and stuff, and he just kills all your stuff as it's coming down the road. So you got to run your infantry across here unsupported, and then somehow try and get your vehicles around here, even though you're getting shot in the side from this as well as this and this building and over here. Depending on how far blue manages to push. I do think it's a bit sad that blue didn't bother trying to take this. That would have really cemented his hold on this zone. But I mean, he's got it anyway, because even if once you take this back, then you reveal here, and then you get shot by like 10 million things over here as well. So it's difficult to lose, but once you lose it, it's just one over. You're never getting back in there. And you just see like the cost efficiency of this division is pretty absurd. It gets everything it needs. It gets a cracked arty piece, which hasn't been shooting, sadly. Decent air, good AA, just everything it needs, apart from the heavy tank, which it doesn't need, because it's got tanks which are almost as good, but 100 points cheaper than Lee heavy tank. So, pretty stupid div. What can I say? Oh, wow, there is still one of these left. It's not got a target, though, so he's just going to reveal himself to the enemy. Although this is out of rounds, and this only has 2. There are some igloos there. So yeah, the T-64s, they do... certainly in like a 10v10, the T-72 with its less range does suffer quite a lot. But in a 1v1, it's actually really just not that important at all. Because there's very few places where that extra range is going to matter. In general, the age of the heavy tank is over. Just the increases, the prices went up too much, and the increases to ATGM suppression, so every single ATGM in the game will two-shot rout, or two-shot low cohesion, or two-shot stun a tank. Any tank, doesn't matter if it's a HA, still gonna happen. So there you go, the napalm grad's firing, and you see this will probably get out. But yeah, if it starts, it's looking a lot less likely now, because you yeah, the fire is killing it very, 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 very quickly, and now it's dead. So it all just a little bit RNG, but also, you know, you drive closer, you do more, you have a tighter dispersion circle. So yeah, this is pretty crazy. I'm not sure what Red's supposed to do about this. He definitely should have bought those 4 arty pieces, though. I mean, he had the early point game advantage. He should have just defended centre hard, got a bunch of units in here so he can bring them in, hit them in the sides when they try and come down mid. But yeah, for now he's just driving his CV into the fire and dying. Pretty rough. Pretty. Oh, there you go, Cub. So the T-64 BVs are trying to pick guys off. I mean, really, they should be facing 2 tanks every time, more or less. This has a different kind of name, which means it's even cheaper, but it's lost 1 armor. And yeah, that Cub should have been here 10 years ago. Imagine, like, this just wouldn't be happening if that Cub was here. So, okay, so this is Red's epic counterattack. He's doing the smoky. This should just be shooting that immediately, because they're not moving. They've got to stand still to do the smoke. The book's been resupplied. When did that happen? And yeah, bringing your tanks in at 0 vet is a big mistake. Never do that. And yeah, on top of everything else, they also get a bunch of bombers. So that would have taken, well, I don't know how much HP it was on before it fired the first one, but basically it would take 2 hits to kill that, I believe. I can't remember, was it a BV? If it was a BV, it would have taken 2 hits because of the tandem, but... Anyway, so here you go. So now Motor Strelkey, no vet, are going up against Pioneer, 1 vet, with the Resolute trait. And that's going to go about as well as you might expect. Over here, you know, Red, he tried. This is pretty funny. Not sure how that got there, actually. He must have come around on the right. All you got to do is move this to there and it'd smack it, but... He's not noticing. Also, he's got a tank here not doing anything. So, yeah, typically you want to smoke back here so that you can bring your fire support up and then use your fire support to help your infantry rather than just having to struggle. I'm surprised he's still got these. Oh, I see, it's going for the Mi-24D. But yeah, buying 4 Jyatsins, usually not a good idea. If anything, in 1v1, you should upvet that card. If you're going to bring 2 cards, you upvet them so you get 2 upvetted ones, and then you can do some serious damage with them. Rather than having to spend 4 minutes income to get your arty out, you just spend 2. And it's not as good as 4 pieces, but you're saving 2 minutes income there, which is substantial. And, yeah, so now he's got all these things that he can't do anything with because, well, to be honest, they're in the deep forest anyway, so you'd struggle. Really, the Jyatsins should be going in on these guys because they're not moving. And yeah, sort of similar story here. It's basically what I was talking about. Like, you can't really see them, and it does help if you have some recon, right? But... And down he goes, unsurprisingly. A T-80B shooting it now. Not sure why he's going that way. Gotta be over here to use your gun. Oh, there we go, he's realised now. But now the T-80B, the NSVT is pretty decent against helicopters. Big yikes moment. I mean, it sounds nice. It's nice sound, I guess. Cool sounds. I can hear a plane. Oh wow, that looked cool. How comes that book on the left didn't shoot it? Oh, because it's out of ammo again. Not sure anybody's really paying attention anymore. Surely this ends now, right? Yeah, 10 seconds. So yeah, GG. I mean, the divisions, it just comes down to the divisions. Look at that, like 2-1 KD. So this guy ranks 611. I don't know if he's reset his rank or if he just doesn't play a lot. Victories 84, defeats 37, defeats... Yeah, he might have... might just not play a lot. And then you've got 500, who does not play a lot either. So pretty evenly matched players in terms of games played. But yeah, you see the problem. Wow. Yeah, that's the problem with 6YA. And there you go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And he only bought it halfway through the game. I'll see you around, GG.